75 Hard is a 75-day mental and physical challenge designed to push people to go outside their comfort zone and try difficult things. I don't know if that is the official tagline, but I just came up with it right now, and I feel like it sums it up pretty well. My name is Julie, and I have been undertaking 75 Hard for the past couple of months or so. As of the posting of this video, I am on day 57, and as of the recording, I'm on day 49. So I have a little less than a month, or about 2 weeks left, actually, of this challenge. As I've gone about this challenge for the past 2 or so months, I picked up on a lot of things that I didn't necessarily realize would happen. I figured that this challenge was going to change my life in certain ways, but I didn't realize to what extent. In this video, I wanted to go over those several things. I'm going to take you along as I explain these and also get some household tasks done. I need to change my sheets and change these lights and some other stuff. So hopefully this video will show you some kind of inspiration or motivation and maybe convince you that 75 Hard is a challenge that you maybe need to consider doing. So without further ado, let's get on with the video. Dink!
I got no reason to be sad. Almost is confident.
First object of this video, I need to change these Christmas lights that are hanging right here. I've been putting it off for a little while, but I do have these string lights for it. And I'm gonna talk about my first area of change. Now, the first area of change, I don't really want to talk about that much because I've actually found in the past when I start celebrating it, I start to lose steam after that. But I did want to mention it really quick because it is happening. I have started losing weight, very excited about it, and that's all that I have to say about that. The second area that I've seen a lot of change is just in my mood. I'm a whole lot happier. Assumedly, it's the exercise. I would imagine that's the reason. I've had a couple of setbacks in my mood, of course, but a lot of that has just been due to like outside events and my cycle. But for the most part, I'm doing really well. I'm really happy. I'm just not sad anymore, which is really nice. And my nervous system is definitely in check. So that is a big blessing from the Lord. Thank you, Jesus, God of Nazareth. One kind of random thing that I've noticed about this experience is that I no longer need so much stimulation in the background. Back before I was doing 75 Hard, I was like addicted to YouTube genuinely, and I could not go any second without having something playing in the background when I was at home. And that has since really changed. I mean, I've spent so much time in the past several weeks just sitting in silence randomly. Of course, I'm still in the habit of putting something on in the background, but it doesn't have as much of a pull on me, which is very, very nice. Do I have a YouTube video playing in the background as I'm editing this video? Yes, absolutely. However, it is at an all-time minimum, man. It's great. 10 out of 10 recommend. As that one character in A Bug's Life said, perfect! Perfect! The next thing that has really been affected by 75 Hard, that is actually a requirement of 75 Hard, is that I have finally gotten back into reading. Yes, it is true. I am actually in the middle of like 5 or 6 books. A lot of them are right here. Actually, I think all of them are. So yes, this is 5 books. I'm currently filming a reading vlog, finishing up all of these books. So you have that to look forward to, but I digress. Part of 75 Hard is that you need to read 10 pages of a non-fiction book that is either business related or self-help. Because this is a requirement, I have actually started reading again. The 10 pages really pushed me into being able to actually like want to read again. That's why I am currently reading all of these 5 books at the same time. I was going through a really bad reading slump. If you've watched my YouTube channel for a long time, you probably know that I'm a reader, and it's been really fun to get back into reading after a really long time of being in a slump. I would kind of read here or there, but because I was in fight or flight mode all of the freaking time, and I was so tired at the end of the day when I would come home and there were all of these other things going on, I just had no inclination or desire to pick up a book. Of course, I was addicted to my phone. That was part of it. There were so many reasons that I wasn't reading for the past 2 years, I think. But because of 75 Hard, I have finally gotten back into it, and I'm so excited about it. So if you're a reader and you're in a slump and it's been a really long time, 75 Hard actually might be a really good thing for you to catapult yourself back into reading. Obviously, this is just my story. I don't know, but I feel like it's a thing, you know? Hello, children. So the next thing on my to-do list is that I need to make some soup. I've been procrastinating this for about 3 weeks now, so let's do it right now. A very important thing that I've realized is that I've discovered that I really don't need so much food to survive. When I was working at I had such a bloated sense of how much food I actually needed because of the stress. I was in fight or flight mode every single day of my life. My thought process was basically just like, okay, I need energy to survive, which was true, of course. Food is fuel. However, what I really needed was just some comfort in the midst of the stress. And you know how that goes. Working in a grocery store, you're surrounded by food all of the time, so temptation is everywhere. So I was pretty much just set up for failure when I was in that environment. All that being said, now that my nervous system has settled and I'm exercising more, I feel like my body, while it needs food to survive, obviously, I'm learning that it doesn't need as much as I think that it does. And as somebody that has struggled with food her entire life, that is a really wonderful realization. Another little thing, but perhaps not so little thing, is that 45 minutes doesn't feel so long most of the time. As part of this challenge, you have to do 2 45-minute workouts. One has to be outside and one can be anything, just as long as they're both 45 minutes and they're separated by at least 3 to 4 hours. By doing 2 of these a day, I've come to realize that 45 minutes just isn't that crazy of a time commitment. Especially coming to the end of this challenge, I would imagine that moving forward, if I ever have to do a 45-minute workout, it's going to feel like a walk in the park. Sometimes it does feel like a drag, of course, you know, that happens. But at this point, I've done so many of these 45-minute workouts that I just kind of suck it up and I continue. And that's the discipline that we're looking for, girls. I'm just hoping that I remember that feeling after I finish 75 hard and I go out into my normal everyday life. I made my soup and my kitty is meowing. Pardon the AC units outside. I feel like I'm always apologizing for them. While I let that cool down, this is very hot, I wanted to talk about the last point that I have noticed while doing 75 hard. The thing that 75 hard has done that's kind of random, but I'm appreciative of, is that it helps me remember my neurotices and that I can overcome them. That sounds really weird, but let me explain. There are a lot of neurotic OCD type things that I struggle with on a day-to-day basis. It's really fun. Specifically, walking in the rain has been incredibly healing. I don't know if healing is even the right word, but it's definitely helped me like realize that I can do weird, difficult things that like my brain has these mental blocks up that keep me from doing them, if that makes any sense. Am I in focus? No, I'm not. It's definitely awkward walking in the rain for probably the first 5 to 10 minutes. Once you hit kind of that 20-minute mark, you're in the zone and you're like, well, I've made it halfway. I might as well just keep going. Something that I've realized is that it's literally just rain. It's literally just water and it's not going to hurt me. Sure, it's uncomfortable to like get wet, but it's really easy to come inside, take off your shoes, change your clothes, and just blow dry your hair. Low-key, you feel like powerful. Something that I've been telling myself when I've had to walk in the rain is, you know what? If my ancestors can endure even worse conditions with no shelter at all, and if Ash Ketchum can traverse mountains and lakes and legendary Pokemon with 2 little weaklings behind him, I can walk in the rain for 45 minutes. I will survive. In addition to that, something that I'm hoping to remember after 75 hard is how I am capable of working out on a tight turnaround. There have been a couple of times where I've needed to work out quickly and go to an event, and I managed to fit in a 45-minute workout before that. That's something that I struggle with, because not only is it you have to work out, but also there's the aftermath of like, well, I gotta shower after the fact and whatever. But turns out you don't even need to shower, you can just use dry shampoo. So that's been a really nice realization, and I hope that I remember it when I finish up doing 75 hard. So yeah, those are all of the things that I have taken note of that have changed in my life while doing this challenge. I would highly recommend people do this challenge if you are looking to change your life. It'll look different for everybody, but for me, I had just lost my job and I didn't have anything else to do, so I was like, well, there's no better time than the present. So that's my story. I am but a plebeian, and inevitably will have moments in the future where I fail and where I get off the bandwagon and I stop working out and all of that stuff. Hopefully after completing 75 hard. But I'm looking forward to seeing how I traverse that and face up to it, given all of this knowledge that I have in the back of my mind. We love a renewed sense of energy. So yeah, that's that. Let me know if this video inspired you. I hope you know that you are capable of doing hard things. Even if you feel like you can't, I think you definitely will get there. But it is easier said than done, so I get that. And with that, that is it for me. Wow, what a weird video this was to film, but hopefully it turned out to be really enjoyable for you and inspirational for you. I have to plug myself, of course. Make sure to like and subscribe and follow me on all my social medias. I'll put a link in the description. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you go out and do something that scares you and is difficult and is weird. I'm going to go and enjoy my soup now. Okay, that's it. Okay, bye. See you guys in the next one.